It's Monday morning. You've got the coffee, you've got good intentions, and you open up your laptop, and there it all is. It's your inbox, the half finished list from last week. It's the sticky note you left yourself that just says follow up with three question marks on it because you forgot what it was about. And before you've actually done anything, you've spent the first hour and a half of your week just trying to figure out what the week even is supposed to be. And I lived that exact Monday for years. So when I tell you that I now plan my entire business in about 20 minutes a week, I want to be really clear that I'm not some naturally organized person who just has it together. That's not me. I'm too laid back for that. I built a ritual though because I had to. And what I figured out along the way is that the reason planning takes most people hours or just never really even happens at all is that they're trying to do two completely different jobs at the same time, deciding what matters and then organizing when it happens. So let me walk you through the exact 20 minutes step by step, and you can literally copy this on Sunday night. This happens once a week before the week starts. For me, that's Sunday evening or really early on Monday morning. But Friday afternoon can work great too. And honestly, there's something kind of nice about closing one week and opening the next in the same sitting because then you feel so clear moving into next week. But you're going to need three things: your task list, your calendar, and a timer. And you're going to actually set this timer. I know it sounds wild, but you're going to set it for 20 minutes. And it's going to be 4 steps that are 5 minutes each. The timer is what turns this into an actual 20-minute project and not some 2 hours of reorganization or trying to figure it out. Okay. So, step 1, this happens in the first 5 minutes. You pull up last week's list and you run every single item through one of 3 verbs: done, carry, or kill. I know that sounds dramatic, but done gets checked off, and let yourself actually feel that for a second. It matters more than you realize to feel that I did that. And if it's already done, check it off. Carry means it earns a spot in this coming week, the one that you're planning right now. And that is okay. Just be careful not to carry too much over. Sometimes you might have to say, this actually belongs in the following week. And kill, honestly, you know what it means. It means get rid of it entirely. And this is something you have to be brutal about. So it's why I use the term kill, because you have to learn to say no to the things that don't actually move your business forward or move your life forward. So I don't want to like sit and think too much about this. I want to be precise in knowing, does this actually make an impact on what I'm trying to make an impact on, right? So get rid of the things that don't. I know sometimes it's hard because everything feels important, everything feels urgent, but that's not the case. So we got to break that cycle. So let's take a look at step 2. This is going to be minutes 5 through 10. You got to pick 3 outcomes that would make this week a win, and don't pick 10. And the word outcome is doing the real work here. This is what we need to focus on, because work on the proposal, which I do this all the time, is not an outcome. That's a direction. You're sort of waving your hand and saying, this is what I need to do. But it's not telling you what is about to get done, if that makes sense. So it should say proposal sent to Sarah by Thursday. That's an outcome, and that's something that feels good and it's tangible. On Friday, you'll know whether it happened or if it didn't. And that clarity is the entire purpose of all of this, to truly feel like you're moving things forward and you know what you're doing. The question I ask myself to find these is pretty simple. If nothing else got done this week except for 3 things, would I still feel like the business moved forward? When the answer is yes, you've got your 3. So that's what you can focus on. But step 3 here, this is going to be minutes 10 through 15. It's all about the placement of what needs done. And this is a step that separates the weeks that work from the weeks that don't. The big 3 do not stay on a list. They go into the calendar, into your best hours before anything else gets to claim that space. If you know your sharpest stretch is the first few hours of the morning, and if you don't know your best windows yet, I made a whole video about finding them. And so I'll link it here. That's where the big three live. Each one gets a real appointment on a real day with your name on it that says, this is not moving, this is busy, and it's important. Because here's what I've learned the hard way: plans don't fail in the deciding, they fail in the floating. A priority without a time attached to it is really just a hope. And hopes get eaten by inboxes and they get eaten by fires that you have to put out and they get eaten by life. Everything else that's floating around in your head or your inbox goes into one list I call the parking lot. It's not this week's problem, but it's captured. So your brain can finally stop holding it. Some people call this the inbox, and honestly, a lot of times I do too. I use the terms interchangeably. Second, you scan the actual calendar for landmines. The call you forgot you agreed to, the deadline sitting quietly on Thursday so nothing gets to ambush you midweek. And third, you need to write down the very first task you'll do Monday morning. Just that one line, that one task, because now Monday doesn't start with deciding or planning or figuring things out. It starts with doing and action, something that you're going to feel really good about on Monday morning. And so instead of being smeared across 5 mornings while you're stressed and continuously trying to figure it out every day, now you have this whole plan and your Monday becomes execution instead of negotiation. And the compounding part is the real payoff here. This is when it's going to start to feel really good. 1 week that is planned feels really nice, but 52 weeks where the stress isn't quite as bad because you have done your prep work and you have put these systems into place, that is where the real change takes place. Over the course of the year, you are going to feel so much better about the trajectory of your life, of your business, of your work, of your family, whatever it may be, because you're going to be prioritizing things. You're going to be thinking deeply through things, and you're not just here to react to things as they happen to you. So, what I do is I run this entire ritual and this entire process inside of Notion. I've got a potential template that you can join the wait list for, and I'll link that in the description. But the big three, the parking lot or the inbox, and all of this lives in one system that I've been refining for years. That's why I want to get this in your hands, because it truly has changed the way that I approach life. I know that sounds dramatic, but it's true. Every day and every week that I have planned out in front of me is building into something greater. It really does snowball. And like I was saying, it compounds. So your homework here is about as easy as it gets. This Sunday or Friday, you pick it, right? Set a timer for 20 minutes and run the 4 steps. Look back and kill anything that doesn't matter, right? Pick your 3 outcomes, put them on the calendar in your best hours, and sweep everything else into the parking lot or to your inbox with Monday's first action item written down and waiting. That's the entire system. It's simplified for you to get a head start and to really start moving this thing forward. And I know there's a lot. I know there's so much on your list and it's hard to sort through. So this first one, maybe it's going to take 2 20-minute sessions, but truly set a timer so that you have an endpoint. Otherwise, you just end up continuously going over things and writing more question marks of what did this mean? I don't remember. You got to learn to be brutal with this list and make actionable steps that are going to happen. So I know it's a lot, but you can do this. And I want to know how it affects you. So leave it in the comments below. And just remember, enjoy the journey, my friend, because we're doing this together.